Attention all old school Grandmaster players. It might be time for you to come out of retirement. We might be saved, question mark. Let me read this from my phone since it's easier for me and you've got 2 pairs of ears to listen to this, haven't you? Well, actually it's only 1 pair of ears, but you don't need fancy infographics and images on screen. What do you need that for? Let me just read it to you from my phone. Isn't that easier? You can hear the dialogue. You don't need pictures. You're not a child. Grandmaster Vanguard alert. These are more difficult activities where you and your fire team can test your mettle and your newly acquired rewards and power level. Rotating weekly Grandmaster Vanguard alerts should take slightly longer and offer greater rewards as your time and effort, as they are harder than the usual Grandmaster difficulty you found elsewhere in the portal. Think of them as the Grandmaster Nightfalls of old. There you go. Now then, the old Grandmaster playback loop on content side of things would be that I would solo the Grandmaster Nightfall every week on Titan, Warlock and Hunter with various different styles of builds, with various different exotic weapons and so on and so forth. This would teach people how to solo the Grandmaster Nightfall playlist. This would net them the weekly featured GM weapon, and if they were not going to solo it, they could still use my tactical gameplay to coordinate their fire teams and do carries. So even though I was always soloing the GM, it benefited more than just solo players, also fire team players, who struggled in particular Grandmaster playlists. This is a massive deal. So Bungie's bringing back the Grandmaster weekly playlist. I said this, what have I been saying to you? You lot have been suggesting, I'll tell you what you lot have been suggesting, not all of you, some of you. You've been asking for the portal to go to a -40 delta. You're crazy for asking that. You are upsetting casual players. Don't upset them any further than what you've done. The easy way to solve this endgame issue that veteran players are finding themselves in is to introduce a weekly Grandmaster playlist so that endgame sweats can sweat in. You don't need to sweat in the portal. The portal's not designed to be sweating. It's designed to farm armor and weapons. That's what it's designed to do. We don't need ultimate content to be -40. It's fine at -30. It is perfectly fine, tuned and balanced. What we need is weekly Grandmaster Nightfalls, and we're going to get them back. I believe that Renegades is going to be the turning point of this game, and it's going to get back off its knees. Because they gutted Endgame with Edge of Fate Portal. They did. They gutted it. Apart from maybe on the raid side of things. Although they weren't introducing raids and dungeons in the portal, so they kind of did. Yeah? Alright. So they have gutted the endgame. This is one step closer to where we need to be. We need weekly reset in the portal. There isn't one. The portal hasn't got a weekly reset. Adding a weekly reset to it is a very smart idea. It gets you logging in on Tuesdays, because people are not even logging in on Tuesdays now. It was always a good thing before Edge of Fate to log in on a fresh reset to see what the weekly Grandmaster was and whatever else there might be. What's the weekly featured weapon? Yeah, what was the weekly featured dungeons and raids and all that stuff? This is a step closer to that. Now then, old school Grandmaster players, if you don't know, quit. A lot of them quit. The old GM specialist players quit. I didn't. I was one that got through the cracks and got through it. I pulled myself up and said, you know what? I'm not going to quit just because Bungie has sunset weekly GMs. That does not mean that I have to put myself at risk by quitting. No way. I'll make it work with the portal content, and you've seen what I've done. I've made it work. I've give players, for the most part, what they want from Edge of Fate launch up until now. And I think I've went above, in actual fact, in some areas. Alright, especially upload frequency. Now then, because the weekly GMs are going to come back, this is huge. This is going to give a lot of solo YouTubers and Twitch players content to give to you for you to consume. And I know for a fact there's a hell of a lot of PVE players love to consume a damn good solo GM video. They do. It's proved and true from the old days, lasting for 6 years, from 2019, Shadowkeep, till Edge of Fate launch, just before. Right, so it absolutely is a proven track record that weekly Grandmaster Nightfalls are needed for D2. Without them, you are alienating too many PvE players. Too many, right? And a lot of those were vets, and they packed in. Okay? So, yeah, I mean, on the old school Grandmaster playlist, if you didn't know, I'm top 20 in the world for solo GM clears. Top 20 in the world. And on PS5. I don't play on PC. A lot of you think I play on PC. I don't know why. Maybe I play like a PC on a PS5. See, I play the way of the paddle. I have unique settings. Maybe I'll make a setting video in the future and let you into my secrets and tricks. But for now, I'm not gonna do that. But you need to learn the way of the paddle. I have learned the way of the paddle. That is what enhances a lot of things. But that's a conversation for another time. Yeah. So there you go. They've showed that image of Sunless Cell, right? So that's going to rotate on a weekly basis. We need this sorely. It's going to make every fresh weekly reset much more fresher. I mean, it's not fresh at all now, is it? It's kind of... The portal hasn't got a weekly reset, yeah? It's got a daily reset, but that's not enough. The only thing on the daily reset that you're looking for is Mint Retrograde. And if Mint Retrograde's not up, then you're not interested. However, most people have Mint Retrograde. They have the role they want, so they're not even farming that anymore. So we need weekly GMs for all-purpose content and for players just to engage in something once they have beaten the campaign, all of Portal, got to 550 power, got all the tier 5 builds. They can go and test their tier 5 builds in some sort of activity, and that is one of the steps will be your weekly Grandmaster playlist, which that's what they should have called this. But they've called it Grandmaster Vanguard Alert, right? Because it's got more than just the Nightfall, I guess. So it's a cluster of different things. All right. So this is a very important day, right? That's why it's important to this channel, okay? Because that's what we was built off. I was built off Grandmaster Combat, yeah? And I'm going to be, like I was on the old system, I'm going to be a champion of the new Grandmaster Vanguard Alert system. And it's going to be very difficult for you to best me in this activity. I would have to be incapacitated for you to beat me for solo GM clears on this and on various characters and builds. And for creativity. On all levels, I'd have to be incapacitated. You won't beat me on that. But it's alright, you can watch me beat you with it on the playlist. And you can get your tips and tricks for that. So this is an important day, right? Joking aside, which I am doing, it's just satire. Lads, it's just satire. It's not, I don't actually mean it. It's just a bit of daytime flexing. It's not nighttime flex. See, nighttime flexing is where we're serious. Daytime flexing's having a little fun with you. It's a little interaction with the community. Some of you take me too seriously, especially you Americans. You think I'm dead serious on it. It's your task to figure out when I'm serious and when I'm not, and I like to blur the lines. I like to blur the lines between when I'm joking about it or if I'm serious. If you know me well enough, you will know when I'm joking and when it's satire. And I would say 70% of the time, it's me messing around with you. I go to bed, right, laughing about what I've said to you on given days. Yeah, it makes me giggle at night. Right, I even surprise myself. I'm like, I shouldn't have said that on a video, and I do. Hey, it's all just part of a laugh, right? How else are we going to coexist in this era of the game that we're in? Well, that's through comedy. That is through comedy. So yeah, big deal today. I wanted to notify the old school Grandmaster players to tell them to come out of retirement, because I want you to try and best me in active combat. And I can guarantee to you, you probably won't best me in combat. There'll be a few players out there in the world that best me in combat. I'm not saying they won't. But for the average and casual players, you've got zero chance. So why don't you just watch me do it in the meantime? Hope you enjoy. Thank you.